Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And hello, Rochester. Great to be with you. 4 days from now, we're going to win the state of Minnesota. And I did not forget you because we were given a very, very hard time by your so-called leaders, but they're not very good leaders, as you found out during the riots. And we're going to win 4 more years in our great White House. Thank you. As you know, there are at least 25,000 people who wanted to be here tonight. We just saw a lot of them. Wanted to pay our respects. They were here for a long time. They waited and waited, and then the governor did bad things. Your far-left Democrat Attorney General, Keith Ellison, and your Democrat governor tried to shut down our rally, silence the people of Minnesota, and take away your freedom and your rights. They thought he would cancel, a word they are very familiar with, cancel culture. But I said, no way, I will never abandon the people of Minnesota. I will come up. Thousands and thousands of people over there with cars. We flew over cars that go miles long. What a shame. They waited here for a long time. I want to thank the thousands of people outside who were barred from entry by radical Democrats. You are American patriots. Thank you very much. When large numbers of rioters and vandals sacked the city of Minneapolis earlier this year, Keith Ellison did not ask them to submit a permit. He told the throngs of violent demonstrators, by all means, exercise your First Amendment rights. Right? He said that prior to them ripping down your city. Keith Ellison sided with flag-burning extremists over law-abiding Americans. He treats you like second-class citizens. He believes that the pro-American voters have fewer rights than anti-American demonstrators. Keith Ellison and Joe Biden want to imprison you in your homes while letting anarchists, agitators, and vandals roam free as they destroy your cities and states. The Democrat Party wants you to be banned from peaceful assembly while they allow their supporters to burn down a police precinct right here. Biden and the far left incite violence with their vile anti-police rhetoric and the fact that they're weak people, very, very weak people. They allow rioters to lay waste to the public streets that financed, and they were financed by you with your hard-earned taxpayer dollars. The radical left is determined to obliterate the middle class. They think they can take your money, attack your values, indoctrinate your children, and silence your voices. But on November 3rd, I hope you're listening, Minnesota, because this is what you've had to put up with for a long time. The people of our nation are going to be heard like never before. It's already begun. People are already starting to find out what's happening because they're going to show up and vote in record numbers. And you have already started to see what's going on, and they're getting very concerned. We're not just running against sleepy Joe Biden. We're running against the arrogant far-left political class. They want one set of rules for you and no rules for themselves. Biden and the left-wing Democrats treat law enforcement like criminals, and they treat criminals like heroes. They lecture you on morality while they support sanctuary cities that get innocent Americans robbed, raped, maimed, and murdered. They ban you from going to church while they let left-wing extremists burn down the church. They support crippling shutdowns that crush blue-collar jobs while their own jobs remain totally exempt. They keep your kids out of school while their families hire private tutors. They flood your cities with illegal drugs and gangs while they live inside walled-off compounds. They want to destroy and work hard to destroy the suburbs, which I'm protecting, and terminating horrible rules and regulations that only pertain to the suburbs while they move into gated communities with armed guards. These wealthy liberal hypocrites want to defund the police and take your guns while they are protected by armed guards. There's only one way to defend your dignity. There's only one way to defend your family and your country. There's only one way to preserve, protect, and defend the American way of life. You must show up and vote on November 3rd. In the second term, we will increase funding for law enforcement. We will hire more tough-on-crime prosecutors to put violent offenders behind bars. We will finish and win the war against MS-13 killers. We've taken thousands out of our country and brought them back where they came from. We will put them all out of business. We will completely dismantle Antifa. And we will reclaim our streets for law-abiding Americans of every race, color, religion, and creed. These are streets that have been run by Democrats, not Republicans, and it's taken too long for them to gain control of those streets. We will do all of this and so much more only with your vote. And you have a very important vote, and this state in particular. 1972, this is a state you've been poorly run for too long. You want law and order also. On November 3rd, vote to defeat Joe Biden and save your great American dream and save your wonderful American freedom. Biden is a grimy, sleazy, and corrupt career politician. We found that out. A lot of people have known it for a long time, who's done nothing but betray you for 47 years. All he's done in that time is sell out to lobbyists, sell out to China. China owns him. Sell out to Big Pharma and sell out to foreign countries. He will look you in the eye and then turn right around and stab you in the back and be totally protected by the mainstream media. The only thing he cares about is political power, and he will use that power to hurt you and to enrich his cronies and his friends, and most of all, to enrich his family. A vote for Joe Biden is a vote to put far-left radicals like Keith Ellison and Ilhan Omar and AOC plus 3 and gun grabber Beto O'Rourke wants to take your guns away, wants to destroy your Second Amendment, into cabinet positions controlling the entire federal government, and then they want to pack the courts. They want to pack those courts, the Supreme Court. They want to put radical justices who will confiscate your guns, terminate your religious liberty, erase all of your borders, and stifle life. If you want strong borders, strong families, safe communities, and a thriving economy, then I am asking you to go out on November 3rd and vote for your all-time favorite president. Thank you. One of the most crucial issues for Minnesota in this election is the subject of refugees. This is a vital matter of national security. To protect our country, I issued a directive suspending the entry of refugees from foreign nations compromised by terrorism like you've never seen before, including from Syria, Somalia, and Yemen. We're keeping radical Islamic terrorists out of our country. I spoke to President Macron of France yesterday and put out my warmest sympathy for what they've been through over the last 4 days with terrorist attacks, the likes of which few have seen. Biden has pledged a staggering 700% increase in refugees from the most dangerous and violent terrorist hotspots anywhere in the world. He has also vowed to terminate our national security travel bans, which I fought very hard to get, which I won in the Supreme Court, allowing for unlimited migration from war zones and terrorist havens. He said, bring them in. Biden's deadly migration policies will overwhelm Minnesota and overwhelm taxpayers and open the floodgates to terrorists, jihadists, and violent extremists. Under my administration, the safety of our families will always come first. America first, our families first. With your support, we will continue to bring back your jobs, cut your taxes, cut regulations, support our great police, support our military, defend our borders, protect our Second Amendment, which is totally under siege, but don't worry, as long as I'm here, nothing's happening with it. Protect religious liberty and ensure more products are proudly stamped with the very wonderful and beautiful phrase, made in the USA. Yesterday it was announced that last quarter our economy grew at the fastest rate ever recorded. History of our country, 33.1%. People were shocked. I wasn't. It's the biggest increase in the history of our country by far. 1952, but it was a rate less than half. We are creating an economic powerhouse, a superpower, the likes of which the world has never seen before. We are building the biggest, strongest, and most prosperous middle class in human history, and I am fighting for higher wages, more jobs, more opportunity, and we will keep it right there, and we will bring it right here to the USA where it belongs. Joe Biden has never succeeded before. Barack Obama said that if you want to see things screwed up, just ask Joe Biden to do it. Joe Biden will ship your factories to China, impose a $4 trillion tax hike, eliminate private health care, abolish the entire oil industry and fracking, and send your state into a crippling depression. Biden's anti-energy, anti-worker policies would be a nightmare for Latino and African-American workers all across our land. Biden will also continue his 47 years of cruelly betraying African-Americans. He called them super predators in 1994, ripped apart their communities and did everything in his power to wipe out the black middle class. And they understand it better than anybody, and I think you'll probably see that at the voter booth. They understand what he's done better than anybody. Super predators, he said. Now Biden wants to wipe out the entire U.S. economy for black Americans, Hispanic Americans, and all Americans. He has no idea what he's doing. He wants to give you the largest tax increase in the history of our country by far. Joe Biden's plan will delay the vaccine, postpone therapies, crash the economy, and shut down our entire country. Under the Biden lockdown, which he talks about and cherishes, countless Americans will die from suicide, drug overdoses, and deferred medical care at a level like you haven't seen before. There will be no school, no graduations, no weddings, no Thanksgiving. No Christmas, no 4th of July, no Easter, no nothing. There will be no future for America's youth. Under my plan, we will deliver a safe vaccine to the American people in just a matter of weeks. and it will be something that will be very, very special. And we are rounding the turn on the pandemic with or without vaccine. We have the vaccine. It's going to come. But even without it, we're rounding the turn. Seniors will be first in line to get it, and it will be available free. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't our fault. It was the fault of China. We should have kept it within their limits. Our vaccine will eradicate the virus and the pandemic, and it will end. Quickly restore normal life. That's what we want, is normal life. Take us back 7 months. Normal life. Record-setting everything in a normal life. And next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country. We will wipe out the China plague once and for all. We're joined today by Congressman Jim Hagedorn and Congressman Tom Emmer. Thank you, fellas. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks, Jim. Tom. Great warriors. They've been with me all the way. And congressional candidate, somebody that's really outstanding. I think you two agree, right? You two agree? Michelle Fischbach. Great job. I saw you in the debate. You did a fantastic job. Thank you, Michelle. Great job. State Senator Paul Gazelka. Paul, thank you. Thank you, Paul. State Representative Kurt Doubt. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kurt. Like your hat. And GOP Chair Jennifer Carnahan. Thank you, Jennifer. Are we doing well, Jennifer? I think we're going to win. 1972, and you have been treated very, very badly. In addition, friend of mine, Mike Lindell. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. Great job. Great job. And former, this is a big one, really, Matt Burke, Minnesota Viking star, superstar, really, huh? Look at him. You look like you could play tomorrow. Thank you very much, Matt. Great honor to meet you. Another vital issue in this race is the Minnesota Iron Range. I brought it back to life. It was dead, it was closed, it was sealed, and you weren't going to use it for anything. As vice president, Joe Biden tried to obliterate the Iron Range. 7 plants were idled. The rest were closing very shortly. And they were there was barely a whimper. I brought the Iron Range roaring back to life. I have friends that live in Minnesota. They said it was so unfair. When it was closed, a man came up to me. I don't know who he was, but he was a strong, big, powerful man, and he was crying, and he said, they've taken my life away when they closed the Iron Range. Well, I opened it. That was the most convincing of all. Everybody wanted me to do it. But when I saw him, I said, there's no doubt about it. And it's fully opened and really doing phenomenally. And it has the best iron, they say, anywhere in the world, but you had it closed, so it's great. Congratulations. Congratulations. It was my honor. That area is now thriving. It's thriving. It was desolate. It's now thriving. 9 Democrat mayors in the Iron Range have endorsed me because they know Biden will shut down the Iron Range forever. And by the way, they will shut it down as fast as I opened it up, and they'll shut it down permanently the next time. They said we made a mistake. We didn't do it through legislature. We made a mistake. They will shut it down permanently, so I hope you remember that. I just hope you remember that, especially on November 3rd. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in American history. Biden's plan to admit unlimited low-wage foreign workers will slash incomes, surge unemployment, and devastate your middle class, all to enrich his globalist donors. He raises money like crazy because he's making deals. They're giving him millions of dollars. I could raise much more than him, but I don't want to be compromised. I won't be compromised. And we don't need the money. We don't need the money. That's how they've raised all of that money, because they're making deals with Wall Street. As president, I will only advance immigration policies that put American workers and families first. You, the American people, are my only special interest. That's why I did this. And I had a very nice life before doing this, I have to tell you. I will continue fighting for you harder than anyone has ever done before. The forgotten men and women of our country will never, ever be forgotten again. And you know that, and you saw that. 4 years ago, we had a very, very exciting time. This is even more exciting, and frankly, this is a more important election, and I never thought I'd be saying that. A vote for me and the Republican Party is a vote for the American dream. So, Minnesota, this is that very important time has finally arrived. This is it. This is the history of our nation. This is a very, very big moment for our country. This Tuesday or sooner, get out and vote. Every one of you. Remember what your governor did this evening, and it's a small thing, but a horrible thing to thousands and thousands of people that are outside that could be here. We could all be together. A horrible thing that they did. Your state and your country depend on you. We depend on your vote. We depend on your loyalty, and you have my loyalty. That you know and that you found out. Together we are going to make history. On November 3rd, we're going to make history, and this will be very special for Minnesota. People have been talking about it for years, but it never quite works out. Even with me, we lost by half a point. One more stop. I should have come one more time, just one more time. But you know what? It's not going to matter because we're going to have an even bigger victory on November 3rd. So I want to thank you. God bless you. God bless Minnesota. And God bless America. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody. Nice seeing you, Matt. Good job. Thank you, everybody.